I'm Johnny Gamet. Thanks for watching Bruins 360. Earlier this week, we sat down with Coach Mike LeViere of the women's basketball team. He's our Double Alt Bruin of the Week.
For all your legal needs, call Brian Ramey and Associates, 864-295-0000.
We're here with Mike LeViere of the women's basketball team. Coach, thanks for taking the time to join us here and talk a little bit about Lady Bruins basketball.
Well, great to be here.
All right, let's talk about this season. You came into this season of, it was kind of an emotional roller coaster, I think, for you. You already expected some of your players to not be returning with graduation, seniors, that kind of thing. Then some other things happened and coming in not necessarily with the team that we've had in years previous. So as a coach, what was your mentality, coming into the season knowing there were going to be some obstacles?
Yeah, we had scheduled up a little bit, had increased our schedule toughness, and we're anticipating having some upperclassmen that we end up not having, and so that threw us for a loop for a little while, but the people that needed to stepped up eventually. We had to figure some things out. It was a bit of a roller coaster. It was a great year as far as learning, and we still are improving and learning all the time. So it's been a very interesting year, but I'm very proud of the way the team has come together and performed here lately.
What were some of the things that you told the girls in the beginning of the season? I think we started off pretty rough as far as the schedule goes, and you said we were playing a lot of tougher opponents, tougher competition. But as a lot of these players are learning their new roles, what are some of the things that you're talking to them about in practice or preparing for in the games?
Well, constantly focused on doing little things right, playing good defense, being in position, moving our feet, getting our hands up, boxing out, rebounding. If we win the rebound battle, and we play good defense, we should be in most every game. And the offensive continuity wasn't there at the beginning, but we can always work on those little things, and that's the biggest thing that we tried to do all season long.
End of the first semester, we went in with a big win at ending the semester with a win at Johnson, and then we came back and it's like a whole new team. I don't know if they drank some special eggnog over the break or whatever it was, but they came back and it was just a completely different team. Won, I think, 9 out of the last 11 or something like that. What do you think has been the biggest differences between both semesters?
Well, it was definitely nice to get the win going into break, as opposed to having to think about the loss and what could have happened. And then the trip down to Florida was a great trip. Just allowed the team time together, which allowed the continuity, I think, on the court to happen at a much faster pace and better than it had in the previous part of the season. So that trip kind of was a great kickoff to and a continuation of the good things that had started to happen at the end of the first semester, and we just kind of kept things going from there.
A few games left before we get to the regional tournament. What are some of the short-term goals for the team, and then going into regional playoffs, preparing for that?
Well, short-term is always the next game and the next performance, the next practice well, and so we're looking ahead at the next game and being ready for that. Performance-wise, we're always looking at our assist percentage on made baskets. We want to find the open person and play good team basketball. Last year we won our first regional tournament game. We'd like a repeat of that, be able to compete a little more at that regional level, and we're getting there slowly but surely. It's a tough task. We've got Emmanuel in our region and Southern Wesleyan, Southeastern. They're all solid, shorter, and so we've got to step up our game, and we don't want them to come down to us. We want to rise to their level. So long term, that's the goal. Get up there and play with Emmanuel and those guys.
Looking back, as we said, it's been kind of up and down this season. At some point this season, first semester, we were thinking, are we even going to win another game? And then this semester, it's now like, can we be beaten? Looking back on this team, though, after region, after however far we make it, what are you going to look back at this team in particular and say they did this well, or remember most about this team?
Probably just the grittiness and toughness mentally that they've been able to show. I think one of the funnest victories was going down to Pensacola. We're down by almost 20 points, I think, to start the game, 19 or 20 to 1, I think the score was. And honestly, wasn't looking at the score that much, but there was a lot of us on the bench getting nervous, but I really felt like we weren't playing that awful bad. They had some shots go in, and we had some bad breaks, but to be down 19 or 20-1 and come back and win at Pensacola shows a lot of toughness, and I don't think the team that we were at the beginning of the season probably would have done that. And so that continuity and the cohesiveness that has developed really showed itself at that game. And that's going to be one of the highlights of this year, I think, looking back at that and saying that's kind of a microcosm of our season. Went through some tough times, pulled out of it, really pulled together, and come out with a victory.
All right. That's Coach LeViere of the women's basketball team. Thanks very much for joining us, Coach.
You're welcome.
Now let's look at what's coming up for our Bruins teams. On Friday night, the men's team will travel to North Carolina to play Piedmont International University in the Battle of the Bruins. Then on Saturday night, the women's team will travel to Tennessee to take on Tennessee Temple University. Remember, at any time, you can download the BJU Bruins app at the App Store or the Google Play Store, or follow us at bjubruins.com. There you'll find stats, scores, schedules, and so much more. I'm Johnny Gamet. We'll see you next week.